Baba Booey and Baba Booey. What's up, everybody? We're on YouTube, Twitter, StockTwits, and in this metaverse, this verse, everybody's verse. So, ladies and gentlemen, today started out with a bang because we looked over at the quantum stocks and they were red, and then we bought them, and then they all went up. You know why? Because the market doesn't go down anymore, right? So this morning, as you know, all the quantum stocks are about to go 10x, and they've only gone like 3x so far. So you got at least 7x to go. So on a Friday on options exploration, when you see stocks that you want to buy that are red, immediately buy them, especially when they break over VWAP, right? And then you got RGTX, which is the steroid version of RGTI. So if you bought RGTI, yeah, you did well. But if you bought RGTX, just a measly 400 or 500 shares, yeah, you're up close to 20 points on the same trade. So you do a couple less shares, or maybe you are rocking 1,000 share lots of this thing and you're up 20, 30 grand. Also, if you're joining us, we have this trade that hasn't failed in over 3 years, and we had 2 more of them today. And I'm going to get a drink. I'm going to put some music on, and we're going to talk about those. And then you're going to join my website, and you're going to join for a year, because if you don't join soon, we're raising prices on January to 12,500 to be a participant in the room. So join now. Sorry, I didn't hit the right button. Apparently the music didn't come on, huh? All right. So anyway, yeah, we were talking about this on the morning show. We were talking about these leverage versions of regular stocks, and they were created for psychopaths like us who sit in front of the computer all day and want to trade, right? By the way, I don't want to say it, but the Q short trade is actually in play again. Now, I don't know if anybody's looking at the market right now as a short. It's been a pretty awful trade, but we actually managed to short the Qs twice today and escape with some small profits. The fade out of the open, and just now I got stopped out on this last move up, and here we are. It didn't never broke back over that double top, so we're trapped in a range, really, basically. But the idea is, if we're going to be trapped in a range and the range breaks prior day VWAP, that range will usually be broken to the downside, which is something we don't normally see. Market going down, right? But UVXY being green on a Friday, we don't normally see that either. But before I go into why the market could actually pull back for 7 minutes, let me refresh my screen here. Oh, before we go any further, actually, is my friend who called me insufferable in the room? Because, I'm going to go on such a rant right now. You're going to love this. You might as well leave right now, because you might not be the same after this. Because today we're going to tell a tale of the most unluckiest trader you'd ever meet. And his name is Kenny Glick. For someone that knows something so well and some trade that works as well as it does, for me to ever take a loss on a trade is just, it's absurd. But I'll show you and I'll explain why I'm the most unluckiest trader by far. There is nobody can compare to me. And that's why the original website that I launched was called Suck My NASDAQ. And it was just about me. You know, if I bought a stock, you shorted it. If I owned the stock and I held it for an extended period of time, and when I finally sold it, that's when you would buy it. And it was just uncanny for 3 years. Everything I did was just, you basically did the opposite of what I did. But if I said something and I didn't do it, it was awesome. So that whole saying about do what I say, not what I do. But today was an example of my bad luck, and I'll get into it in a second because it's a fucking horrifying story. And I wish it wasn't true. But there's a point to the story. And the point is sizing. They say size. And let me shut the microphone off over here so you can hear me better. Going so you can see my emotions as I start to cry as I tell you this story. Hi. You got me? You ready? All right, here we go. I have a trade that works every single time it shows up. Every time. Maybe it's the only trade you should take. Maybe it is. Do I only take that trade? No. I'm always looking at other things, doing this, doing that. But if you are just beginning in this industry, right, you probably should stick to a trade that works every time. And when I say it works every time, it works every time. And not only does it work every time, it works on the same stock in the same day multiple times. So if you were with us on the schmooze yesterday, and I know some of you were, we were talking about FedEx, right? And why are we talking about FedEx? By the way, if you are short the queues right now, come on, baby. Please, for the love of God, would you get paid this time? If you were watching the FedEx, right? Our entire existence as day traders, as far as the hit the bid, algorithmic trading, VWAP, wonderful solid jello broadcast that we do here, this is the trade. This is the trade that I explain how it's worked now 1,102 times in a row for the last 3 years. And since we've been using it exclusively circa 2015, I would roughly put it at an 80 to 85% win rate. But now the win rate is 100%. Do I need to keep telling you that it works every time for you to want to at least try one? Would you try one? Right? So yesterday on the schmooze, I said, all right, cool, FedEx ripped up. And then I said, hey, look, there's an anomaly print right there, which you got to factor in tomorrow because the matrix quite often shows its hand. It's telling you that the stock's somehow going to get back to that price tomorrow. And then the market closes. And then this morning you wake up and you go, oh, look, it's FedEx, a gapped up stock that's breaking VWAP. Kenny said it's going to go to that print. Maybe I should short it. Maybe you should. And just with a three or 400 shares right there at 238, your orange line was where you covered. That's 8 points right there. That's 2,400. But you don't cover all of it right there because you got to factor in that it's going to go to the anomaly print. And there it goes. There it is. It went there, right? And then where did it overshoot to? It overshot to where? Pretty much the same area where it held. You missed it by 13 cents on a $250 stock. Okay, stop right there. 1,101. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal. on a stock that has gapped up on earnings report that breaks VWAP and goes to the orange line. That's the trade that works every time. Plus, you got the anomaly candle in there, allowing me to then prove that this thing is real. When you get out of the money weird prints, it's the matrix, the system that the market's programmed on has slipped. It's a fat finger Freddy moment. And the glitch has been proved not to be a glitch because we see it. And we see it a number of times, like the QQQ, right? That's why we're kind of holding on to this idea that we could actually go down a little bit more today because we had a little anomaly candle there at 8 o'clock, which did test that low over there, but we're kind of waiting for this now live to fall over and possibly go down. Now, again, shorting the market is basically illegal in 2025, and you can't. But there's been a reason to today. You got UVXY is green, and you're starting to a little profit taking, right? We'll see if it amounts, and let's see if we get there. And some of us are still short right now. Let me get through the story of how unlucky and awful I am. FedEx, right? The trade that never fails, right? So was I involved in this? No, of course not. Right? But I know some people were, and you did well. So you missed the downside. So what does Kenny say? Well, you don't want to chase because the easy money is over. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? You look to take the other side of that trade now because you know, shorting is short-lived and they're going to die. So you know that because shorting is short-lived and you're going to die. So now the shorter who got paid because the proper setup was there, the 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal on an earnings report, they won. And the reason the faux show bro works so well is that the morons, me, who think the market could actually go down and stay down, that doesn't work anymore. We don't ever stay down. You're fucking insane, right? So you got to understand that you missed the short. So now wait for the other setup to buy FedEx. So the faux show bro convinces the shorts that they might be onto something, and then they tried it again. So it's the fake out, shake out, mini break, but more importantly, they did it again. Little faux show, and then the VWAP break. This time you got the 1-minute multi-day VWAP reversal. So if you missed the 10 points on the way down, nice little buy there at 229.50 using the 227.50, and you got paid. But wait, there's more. Oh, man, I don't want to trade the open. I was afraid. All right, cool. What do I say about stocks when they're trending higher? They'll tend to test the VWAP. And then look at this. Whoop, whoop. That was real because I was there. And then it whoop, whoop, came right back. What's that? That's the faux show. Back above VWAP. Test it right there. Buy it. And you're in again at 230 for a nice 5-point trade. And you're still long the FedEx right now because you're above the VWAP. And it's still a live trade. Point being, how many shares do I do? 200, 300, making my money, right? Cool. Keep that under advisement. Made money on the FedEx. Coming and going. Trade hasn't failed. Then you got Lennar. Who trades Lennar? Nobody. Right. Except us. Because it's gapped down on earnings. It did a fake out, shake out, and a VWAP break. Blue line, orange line. How you doing? Right? 126 got you 130. 4-pointer. How many shares did you do? 100, 200? You made your money, right? Okay, cool. And then, of course, RGTI, you heard me say, quantum stocks. The stocks are about to break 25 and go to 27.50. So we just bought this one out of the gate. Ripped. Got stopped out on the way back down. Not in it right now. And if you're still in it, I love you because this thing's going to 1,000. What do? I'm in 100 shares. So now here's the best part of the story. The unlucky douchebag that I am, right? The unluckiest asshole that could possibly be on earth. This is the one that I load up on. So I'm doing 200 share lots, 100 share lots, 200 share lots. But Jemmy over here, you Winklevoss piece of shit, the Winklevoss, because we made money on it yesterday, I decide I'm going to go balls deep in this one, which is kind of disgusting saying balls deep in Winklevoss in a sentence, but here we are. So this one, I'm like, ooh, faux show, bro, let's go. And I start with 500, but then I add 3,500 shares right there like a champ. Why? Because my emotion took me over. Man, I should have loaded up on that FedEx. God damn it. Why didn't I load up on the Lenara? How come I didn't buy some more of that RGTX? The next trade I'm going to do, I'm loading up. That ain't how to trade. You got to trade every stock exactly the same way. No reason to be buying 4,000 shares of this thing. No reason. If I'm going to buy the 4,000, I better be buying it on the fake out, shake out, and the break. But I'm buying it here, top ticking it like a champ. Why? Because I thought it was about to go green and rip. If I just would have given it 2 extra seconds, I would have been like, oh, this stock's a piece of garbage. Let me just dump it. And that's what I had to do. But I wound up using proper stops, and I got smoked on this one position because, of course, the loser was the one that I had the most of. And that's my life. Sorry. So when I talk about there being an element of luck in trading, yeah, there is. But if you stay consistent, you take that out of the equation. I personally blew this trade because of the sizing that I chose. This would be a completely different day because if you're going if you're going to be aggressive on something, why not be aggressive on the trade that works every time? Oh, yeah. And now don't forget. So once again, my mistake, learn from it. And that's how you become a better trader. So right now, why in the hell are we short the Qs? I'll explain. UVXY is green on a Friday. That's that's the Illuminati. They're buying puts for Monday when the market's notoriously supposed to have a down day on Monday. Maybe they didn't get this party started off tonight, right? Maybe they're going to start the weekend by scaring everybody out of their Qs. We got a reason to believe, but we also have a reason not to believe because we just got blue line or orange line. And we've learned that quite often the orange line acts as support. Today's VWAP, prior day VWAP. But the thing is, we're all holding on because we're delusional. Well, then again, I don't know how many people are actually short the Qs right now. We're in a little downtrend. We're just drifting along. There really isn't that much enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasms. There's no enthusiasm going on right here in the market, right? You had the enthusiastic explosion of activity at the beginning of the day, and now we're kind of just meandering around. But again, meandering is bullish. Boring is bullish. Everything's bullish. Go check outside. Oh, the sun's out. That's bullish. So everything's bullish. But what's not bullish is UVXY green. UVXY green on a Friday gives the moron that I am hope that we can actually pull back 2 points on the Qs. And that's all I want. Prove it to me, baby. Right now. And I want it to go right to that print. Right there. On this candle. Right now. Now, if I can move the market with my mind, that'll be impressive. But damn, man, it's unbelievable how unlucky I am. And I wish I didn't have to tell these stories out loud, but if I didn't, then my wife would have to hear about it later. And I'd be spewing about it all weekend. All right, enough with your dumb Jemmy trade. No, I got to get it out because this is my therapy and you're all trapped here. Because if I didn't express how disappointed I am, then it would just fester. And if this Q short doesn't work now for the next 93 cents, I want every goddamn penny out of this trade. Just give me 92 more cents. Come on. Bring it. Ooh, you could feel it. They're going to give it to us. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to pretend we're not short. Who's shorting the market? I'm not. I'm not short. I'm only kidding. Who the hell would be short the Qs on a Friday? That's just irresponsible. Nobody would be short right now. Nobody should be shorting. I'm going to walk away because this market's never going down ever again. Bubba buddy. I'm short the Qs right now, but I want to talk to you. So, all right, I'm on it. I'm on it. See you. Bye. Yeah. I have. I'm not because I'm right to the point. I asked. All right, I'll call you back. Goodbye. See you. This is it. This is the big one. This is where we hold them. This is where they die. So yeah, man, it's just amazing. It's just actually it's virtually impossible to believe that I could be this freaking unlucky for this a long period of time. I think what it has to do with my dad has all the luck, and I'm just, I was going to say lucky in love, I guess. I did marry over my head. I mean, really, we're trying to freaking grind out $1 on a $526 product, and it is such a pain in the ass. But another note, another news, still stalking this open under 950, really important because if this thing turns, you're looking at 950 and $10 calls later. I like it. But you know the sickest part, and the story doesn't, I mean, this is just one example. I mean, bro, the last, I would say, 9 monstrous trades in my life have been all disasters. The last time I hit a 30 or 40 grand trade, got to be 8 years ago. And I'm talking like, a nice 12 bagger into the close. I had some Google options and it had an earnings reversal at the end of the day. You know, 3 or 4 grand worth of options wound up being worth about 45,000. I'm sitting here and these trades are happening all the time. I just seem to be, I don't, those are the ones that I'll buy 2 contracts, at $1 and they go to 3, you make $600. But the one I buy 30 contracts on, that would be the one that doesn't work. It's just uncanny. But that's why I just speak my mind and keep on going and make sure everybody's making money. And I just got bad luck. I can't explain it. And it's not me. Sometimes when you have size on, you trade differently. No, I traded that according to all my rules, and it just happened to be the one that didn't work. But right now, is anybody getting mildly excited about being short the Qs? You could get mildly excited right now. You could get a little twinge more of excitement right here in 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 5, 4, 3. Man, we can't even close this candle under 596, really. Oh, ooh, did you feel that? Did you feel that? I felt it. Did you feel it? Going down. Did you feel that? Did you feel that little burst right there? Yeah, you felt it. You feel it a lot more when we're at 494.61. I mean, seriously. Come on, man. What a freaking grind, right? Come on now. Come on. Bless you. Here we are. Here we are. I just covered 50 shares. Thank you. Finally. I just covered 50 shares, 595.99. I'm not covering any more unless I have to. Just come on. Just spike down. The next bid is 494, 594.61. Bring it. By the way, the only reason that I entertain the idea of getting short the Qs again is that UVXY has gone green on a Friday. Something you just don't see. And UVXY, even though it's really not that much, the idea that this has gone green now, right, on a Friday, that's people buying protection going into what is seasonally the 1 week where we actually might see some selling. So now UVXY in this moment in time, market's telling us that there might be some more selling on Monday, and maybe it's starting right now. So it's just a grind. Inevitably, we're going to have to get out. But let's talk about that loss one more time, because you have to learn from your losses, right? At least I'm out, right? It could have been worse. Once it got, I bought more, then it got rejected at VWAP. I was trying to fight my way through it. And then they wound up getting me out of 95% of it. I had a little bit, and then I was really pissed off that it broke back over the VWAP. I could have probably cost averaged my way out of this trade. But I put stops at 75 because $24 stock. I used quarter stops, and they dragged it down to 75. They got me for most of my shares. Then, of course, it lifted off. That was awful. But now look where it is now. Good riddance. A couple of weeks from now, when the stock's at 750, we'll see what maybe there'll be a bounce that lasts for more than a minute or two. And this QQQ short just probably came to an end. Right? I mean, it just does not want to go down. So I'm not letting it even go back to 597 like I was originally intending. I'm going to put 2 stops on because I don't really want to be short because it doesn't work. So I'm going to go right where I covered. Right 1 cent above it. So 596.51, 596.83. And that's where I'll get out of this trade. But right now, I'm actually hanging on to hope that we're going to get one more candle down for at least another $1 or 2. We'll see. And by the way, if you're still in RGTI, you should be, because that stock don't give a shit about anything. This thing's on a collision course with $50, maybe even today. I know that sounds crazy, but why? You haven't seen stocks go up 100% lately? There's one every 2 days. And this thing's in a blue sky breakout. Everybody wants in. The shorters think that this was a good idea to short it. They're out there. They're getting crushed. And blue sky breakouts through 25 tend to go to $30. And if it gets into the 30s, it goes to $50. And that's the end of the story. The heck you mean, Wade? And that's the end of the story. All right. Yes. What do you want to talk about? Oh, I'm okay. Thank you, bud. I'm not selling, but that's the thing. Normally I would entertain this phone call. I'm actually kind of in a sour mood, but you good luck. Good luck to you, and all that you just said. Don't. Thanks. She's a good salesman. Every time I said something negative, she's like, "All right, I'll just text you later." I'm like, "No, don't." She's like, "Okay, I'll just email it to you then." I'm like, "No, you don't have to." "Okay, I'll just email you then." That's pretty. She's good. She's good. That was hilarious. Everything I said, she just didn't care what I had to say. That was hilarious. All right, then I'll just send it to you right now. No, I don't want it. Okay, great. I'll send it to you right now. I'm like, are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth? Fantastic. I've already sent it to you. And by the way, Palantir is about to go to all-time highs too, right? Remember when that stock pulled back 40 points? Yeah. And then went right back up 40 points too. Wow. And you want to short the Qs. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yeah, that trade's over. It's over in 6 cents. Ready? 6, 3, 1. Yeah. Oh, well, if we can make it through this last attempt to go up and then it rolls, we might actually get something more out of it. So what else is going on? You guys kick ass on Lennar and oh, I don't even know what day it is. Hey, what's up? Oh, right, it's Friday. I'm not even supposed to be here, right? I don't know. I just keep pressing buttons and talking. Literally, I don't know where I am right now. I forgot it was Friday. That's right. Well, but extra bonus for everybody, right? Anybody even here? What's up, y'all? Now, all I got is this awful QQQ short trade. Well, it's not awful, but soon to get out. Smoked tuna. Well, well, if anybody contacts you, yeah, let them do the free trial and stuff. We actually should have a live demo working throughout the day. One second.
I'm trying to repair that kindling cracker. I might do a fire tonight. Okay, so I'm looking for a wash.
All right. You knew it wasn't going to last. And the tighter you put your stop on, the better, especially if you're shorting the Qs. That's my time, people. I'm out of here. I'm not going to sit here watching the market go up all day. Good luck. Trades that were supposed to work worked. 1,103 of them in a row. And yeah. And we'll probably, if anything, if there's going to be some more selling, it'll be Monday. And hopefully we get exactly what I've been talking about, a little gap up like today. And I think on Monday, if we get some 1 minute through a multi-day, we'll actually go down for maybe 5 points. And that'll be the bear market. And then we'll rally from there all through October, November, December, January, February, March, right into April. I think we get to about 700 on the Qs by tax season. And then we'll have a little correction. Morons like me will think, oh, that's the bear market again. Nope. We'll make another turn on our way to 1,043. And if you guys haven't put it on a sticky pad, the Qs will hit 1,043 on April 20th, 2028 at 1:43 p.m. Mark it down, because when it does happen on that day at that time, you will know I am the one. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. This trade works.